Okay, here we are in Ireland, lovely picturesque Ireland, somewhere north of Cork, in the Flying Flea Bertie Bassett variation. And here I am having a look around and trying to figure out the controls, because unfortunately the controls that I've mapped shift the viewpoint around and enable the drone view and all that, but I'm back. Actually having a little look around and trying to acclimatise myself with where things are. There's a lot of fields, which is good because I'm just about to plunge headlong into one. I was having some trouble with the controls at this point, anyway. The Flying Flea is a little bit tricky to fly because, well, it's as you can see by the wingspan, gives you a heck of a lot of lift, but doesn't give you much control. It is a little bit as I noted, like flying a brick with wings. So yeah, it's great as long as you keep going straight. And if you try and do any sudden drastic manoeuvres, it's not forgiving. Here I was just trying to figure out on the GPS where I was and get a map. That's not it. That's quite a useful view. And eventually I finally produced the map. Go on, click it, that's it. Zoom in a bit, or not, as the case may be. And while I was doing all this, the aircraft was happily drifting, sort of banking and generally sort of dropping and doing all sorts of nonsense. I'm just going to turn the fan off because it's blowing into the microphone. That's it. Should probably mention that I'm doing this voiceover in Power Director after the video and after the game is over, because I didn't have the microphone plugged in. So here I decided I'd lined up the nose on the sea, on the horizon there, and I thought, oh, I'd really like to land near the beach. It'd be nice to get a bit of sun even though it's totally cloudy, but I did my usual trick of drastically reducing the throttle too much. So if you take a little look at the airspeed, which is I believe, is it on the left there? Is that on the left? Is the airspeed on the left? So it's the airspeed, the RPM and the altitude. So the left hand gauge there, you should see that drastically dropping, and as I dive out of the sky like a large Flying Flea shaped bullet, you'll notice that I completely ignore my airspeed and do the usual trick of first of all overspeeding and then stalling, and then completely losing control of the aircraft, at which point it nosedives into a field. You will see that in the next 30 seconds or so. I was looking at, you see that pale green field on the left, the one that's just come into view now, the one with the house to the left of it and that little road. I thought, yeah, that one there, either the one that's the nose is lined up on now, or the one just to the right of that. And then I saw the trees and I thought, tricky, you're not going to be able to avoid those the speed I'm going. I'm going to just stall any second now. But I didn't quite realise how close I was to stalling, and also, as you notice now, that the speed at which I am diving out of the sky and the trees being in the way, and then I just try and level up the aircraft and are stalled, and this happens. But strangely, I did not die. That was a horrid landing, very horrid. But it wasn't that killed me. So as you can see, I've completely nosedived. It was me attempting to use the slew control to right the aircraft. So I pressed Y, and what it does at that point is it usually just levels out the aircraft and puts it on the ground. But it was as if when I pressed the slew control, Is it still recording me? Yeah, it just realised that I'd crashed and ended the game. So, bit of a bugger, really.